Well, thank you so much for coming to visit me and for speaking with me today.
Thank you. So tell us, why are we here today?
I'm very happy to be here in Dubai to introduce the Erin Beauty brand to Middle Eastern consumers. We are so excited to be launching the brand in the region.
Why have you chose the Middle East to launch your perfume?
We actually have introduced Erin Beauty in a number of markets before our Middle East introduction. It began in the United States and the UK, and the Middle East will be our next introduction area. But we feel very sure that there are so many aspects of Erin and of her line that Middle East women will love. So we're very excited for this introduction.
What's so special about this collection? Tell me.
This collection is special because it really represents a very specific creative view and vision from Erin Lauder. It is a global feminine fragrance brand that is very much inspired by the lifestyle and the wonderful modern sense of style of its founder, Erin Lauder. It's rich with storytelling, with emotions, and with beautiful, exquisite fragrances.
Okay, if we're going to talk about you now.
Okay.
What's your best tip for having a very creative career like yours?
Well, my best tip for having a very creative career, as the one I've been lucky enough to have, is to always be curious, to always want to try new experiences, to be open to new things, and to always, always trust your instinct and enjoy your imagination.
You have worked with both Miss Estee Lauder and her granddaughter.
Yes, I have.
What have you learned from each one, and what's the best advice you took from them?
Well, they each, Mrs. Estee Lauder and, I'm sorry, can we do that again? Both Mrs. Estee Lauder and Erin Lauder are amazing women. Mrs. Estee Lauder was, I call her like a force of nature. She was a rare, very unique woman who started a company all on her own. She had a great force, a great belief in herself and in her business, and from her I learned to find my inner voice, my own passion and instinct, and to trust in it. Erin is very much her grandmother's granddaughter, and by that I mean she has a force of will and she has a belief, a passion for her product and her customer and her own creativity. But from Erin, I've learned to stop and enjoy some of the more wonderful things in life, to absorb the great experiences from art and travel and culture, because that's what Erin uses to fund her own creativity.
Okay, what impression do you think the fragrance gives about the person wearing it?
I think that fragrance can express a number of different things about the woman wearing it. Sometimes it can express a mood or emotion of that moment. So perhaps a woman is wearing a light, fresh fragrance during the day, and that's how she feels at that moment. But in the evening, she's wearing something deeper, richer. They're both her, just like a pair of jeans and a sweater is her, and something more dressy can be her. But sometimes a woman wears a fragrance to express what she thinks is her signature style, who she really is as a person. I'm always a big believer that a woman should wear a fragrance and enjoy it for whatever it says to her in whichever way she enjoys it most.
But do you believe in that every woman should try different fragrances, or she should have one signature?
I believe that women should enjoy fragrance as they want to. So for a particular woman, it's having one signature fragrance, that's fine. But for me, I would not want to limit myself to just one scent. There are so many beautiful creations there, and just as a woman would never wear one outfit every single day, day after day, why should she wear one fragrance day after day? I think women should experiment and have the pleasure of expressing different moments in their life with different fragrances.
Exactly. Which of the Estee Lauder's fragrances speak to you the most?
Oh, you know, that's a very difficult question for me to answer because they're all part of me. You know, every fragrance I've worked on, the ones I've developed with Mrs. Estee Lauder, such as Beautiful, the ones that I worked on with Evelyn Lauder, like Pleasures, and that Pleasures was actually a fragrance that I was wearing when I met my husband, so that has a very special connection. And then these new fragrances from Erin Beauty that I've developed with Erin, they all have very different meanings, so I can't give you just one.
Okay. Do you have any advice on how to make perfume last longer?
That is a very easy thing for me to answer because I believe very much in layering fragrance in order for it to last longer. That was actually a concept that Mrs. Estee Lauder invented and started. And what we mean by layering is to use the same scented body products as the fragrance. So for example, to use the body moisturizer, the body cream, and then apply the fragrance on top, you will see that the fragrance will be more intense and will last longer without necessarily spraying more of the eau de parfum. So it gives you an intensity, a richness and a luxury in the impression, and it does last longer.
Okay. 1 second.
That's okay.
Okay, that's a good question.
Oh, she likes that question.
When does Karen Khoury change her perfume?
You know, I'm going to let you into a day in the life of Karen Khoury. So every morning, I wake up, take a shower first thing, and I apply anywhere from 2 to 8 fragrances on my arm because I'm always working on new perfumes. So I smell these fragrances all morning long, and then I go work with the perfumer to adjust them as they need to be. So Karen Khoury changes her perfume every single day, and it's usually anywhere from 2 to 8 because I'm always working on something new.
Okay. What's next on your agenda now?
Oh, there's a lot of exciting new things. Erin and I are hard at work on new fragrances to be added to her wonderful new collection. Erin has so many great ideas that we have more ideas than we have time to launch them all. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of my stay here in Dubai. And then at the end of the week, go home and visit my husband.
Best of luck and thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for welcoming me once again to the Middle East.
Thank you so much. Done?
I'm very excited to be in Dubai to introduce the Erin Fragrance Collection. For Erin, she's created a wonderful, very curated collection of fragrances that is comprised of what we call the Core Collection and the Premier. So in the Core Collection, there is a group of 9 fragrances, each of which was inspired by a story or a memory that Erin has captured in scent. One of Erin's personal favorites is Ikat Jasmine. Ikat Jasmine is Erin's celebration of effortless modern femininity, and it's a wonderful blend of 2 different jasmine extractions as well as rich woods. One of my personal favorites in the brand, and one that I think is going to be very resonant in the Middle East, is Amber Musk. Amber Musk is atmospheric. It's a wonderful, rich, warm amber scent, but it's not too dark, and it has a wonderful modern clarity. In addition to the collection, I believe that our Rose de Grace Premier fragrance is something that's going to be very exciting and very appealing here in the Middle East because it has great cues of luxury, and it's a celebration of an iconic ingredient, rose, which Erin happens to love and which I know is very well appreciated here in the Middle East. It has a beautiful packaging, which I think speaks very much to what the Middle East consumer enjoys and loves as luxury. A beautiful carton with gold accents and trim, as well as a bottle that has a beautiful hammered gold cap, an exquisite metal plaque, and gold cording around, and a scent that is just exquisite. It's a trio of some of the most expensive rose essences ever extracted in the world, including the 100-petal centifolia rose, which has been grown in the south of France since the 16th century. So this is Erin's celebration of one of her favorite ingredients, and I think that it will speak very much to Middle East women.
And which one is your favorite?
My personal favorite is one of our latest introductions. It's called Mediterranean Honeysuckle. It actually...
One second. Now you start.
Start from the beginning. It's actually inspired by Erin's love of the Mediterranean. She visited the area often as a young girl because Mrs. Lauder had a home in the south of France, and as well she's visited more recently with her family. It's one of my favorite places to have a vacation, and the fragrance is a blend of fresh citrus notes and florals that takes me right back to a great holiday I had on the island of Capri. And I love the packaging because it was inspired by the beautiful colors of Mediterranean tiles, and every time I smell the fragrance, it just transports me back to the Mediterranean.
I can smell it from here.
Can you smell it from here? That's good. That means it has great presence.